Since antiquity, astronomers have studied the movement of the stars, striving to reproduce the appearance of the heavens by means of suitable models. Claudius Ptolemy perfected the theory of epicycles developed by Apollonius and Hipparchus. Nicolaus Copernicus developed the heliocentric theory of celestial motion. Kepler wanted to root his three laws in a physical explanation. He voiced the hypothesis that the Sun was a magnet capable of exerting on the planets a motive power whose intensity varied with distance. And Kepler saw the planets too as magnets permanently oriented in the same direction. Galileo's research marked a crucial stage in the process leading to the formulation of a modern concept of motion. The Pisan scientist was the first to establish the laws that, in natural motion, govern the ratios between distances travelled and time elapsed. Galileo asserted the direct proportionality between acceleration and time. In the dialogue, he included highly perceptive comments on the relativity of motion. And in the discourses and demonstrations, he showed that projectiles travel on a parabolic path. Galileo ably combined mathematical reasoning with the evidence obtained from systematic observations of pendular movements and descents along inclined planes, as well as from ingenious experiments such as the probably apocryphal dropping of spheres of different materials from the Tower of Pisa.
Ever since Kepler had devised the modern system of the world, ever since then people had wondered what kind of force can hold that thing together and make it go, and here Newton had found it.
In 1687, the Principia was published. Acknowledging his love of ancient Greek thought, the book was structured as a classical treatise in rhetorical argument and logic. The mathematical reasoning was largely in Euclidean geometry, the geometry of the ancient Greeks. The book opened with definitions of mass, types of forces, and inertia, each presented in a radically new light. Using these definitions, he postulated three laws of motion. On these three laws, Newton constructed his framework for dynamics and celestial mechanics, the bases of modern science. He described the structure of the universe. He showed how to find masses of planets, why the Earth is flat at the poles, and why there is a bulge at the equator, how the tides work, the precession of the equinoxes, and the motion of comets.
Newton's Principia is generally reckoned to be the single most important scientific book ever written and published.
In 1867, James Maxwell, in a brilliant synthesis, defined the equations that provided an explanation of classical electromagnetic phenomena in all their complexity. At the century's close, the study of gas discharges led to the discovery of X-rays and the electron, opening new horizons for 20th century physics.
I have said that great men are a mixed lot, but there are orders of great men. There are great men who are great men among small men, but there are also great men who are great among great men. I go back 2,500 years. And how many of them can I count in that period? Pythagoras, Ptolemy, Aristotle, Copernicus, Kepler, Galileo, Newton, Einstein. and length of day to the greatest of our contemporaries, Einstein.
Geehrte Versammlung, nicht leicht fällt es mir, den Hang zu einem Leben in stiller Betrachtung zu überwinden.
Are but different manifestations of the same thing, a somewhat unfamiliar conception for the average mind. Furthermore, the equation E is equal mc square, in which energy is put equal to mass multiplied with the square of the velocity of light, showed that very small amount of mass may be converted into a very large amount of energy, and vice versa. The mass and energy were in fact equivalent, according to the formula mentioned above. This was demonstrated by Cockcroft and Walton in 1932 experimentally.
Race between the USA and USSR, originally supposed to be a preventive measure, assumes hysterical character. On both sides, the means to mass destruction are perfected with feverish haste behind the respective walls of secrecy. In the last analysis, every kind of peaceful cooperation among men.
We have gathered here in Princeton to serve the cause of the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. The university was founded long before the establishment of the independent state of Israel. This institution of research and scholarship represents a spiritual bond encompassing the Jews in all countries.
3, 2, 1, 0.
But there is an order of men who get beyond that. They are not makers of empires, but they are makers of universe. And when they have made those universes, their hands are unstained by the blood of any human being on earth. Ptolemy made a universe which lasted 1400 years. Newton also made a universe which has lasted 300 years. Einstein has made a universe, and I can't tell you how long that will last.